If you don't know what gerrymandering is, it's essentially where the people who draw the boundaries of elections can change the outcomes by changing the boundaries, creating unfairly exaggerated majorities, or sometimes giving minorities a majority. The people who redistrict in many states are the state legislatures themselves, and since the next House election is looming, this war began when Texas took the first shot. Of course it was Texas. In July 2025, Texas called a session on redrawing its 38 district boundaries, ostensibly due to racial discrimination. Nobody believed the lie, but Democratic lawmakers, despite trying, didn't have the numbers to stop the redistricting. Texas went ahead and redrew its boundaries, which will likely give Republicans 5 more House seats. Obviously, Democrats found this pretty blatantly unfair and so quickly moved to retaliate, kickstarting the war. So let's look at the other states that have changed their boundaries and who's actually winning this war so far. Immediately in response to Texas's redistricting, California introduced an amendment called Proposition 50, essentially the exact same thing Texas did, but at least voted on by its constituents. When the proposition obviously passed, California redrew its maps, which gave Democrats 5 more likely seats, effectively zeroing out whatever Texas did and screwing over lots more Americans in the process. After that, Missouri's legislature passed a new map which gives Republicans 1 more seat, but this may be challenged in a voters' referendum later in summer. North Carolina followed suit, bypassing their voters and their Democratic governor to give Republicans yet another seat in the already extremely gerrymandered state, which some judges upheld. 2 up for Republicans. Next came Ohio, who used a bipartisan commission of 5 Republicans and 2 Democrats, producing a map which gives 2 more seats to Republicans, with the Democrats ultimately agreeing due to threats of removing another Democratic seat if they didn't. This map is basically ironclad from legal challenges, although there is a citizen-led initiative to impose a popularly elected map currently ongoing. 4 up for Republicans. Back over to the West, Utah during all this was embroiled in a war between the legislature and its people, angry that Salt Lake City, the only notable cluster of Democrats in the otherwise solidly red state, was split in 4. Utah's citizens had passed an anti-gerrymandering resolution in 2018, which the voters used to challenge the maps used in 2022. The legal battles over these lasted years, with Republicans putting forth a range of barely altered maps, hoping nobody would look too closely, but finally were forced to accept a map that gave Democrats 1 district in the state. Republicans put up a massive fuss, with almost 250,000 mobilizing against the map, but petitions against it failed to meet signature requirements, and now the map is likely cemented. 1 more for Democrats. And back in the East, Virginia retaliated to its neighbor North Carolina by vowing to pass its own map, a much more potent threat given the state had some of the fairest districts in the nation prior to the war. After overwhelming electoral success for Democrats in 2025, Virginia passed a new map which puts Democrats as likely to win 4 more districts, pending a ruling by the Virginia Supreme Court. Democrats back in the lead. To the south, Florida announced its new map which would give Republicans 4 more seats, and with overwhelming control of the state and advisories from the White House to set aside funding to defend legal challenges, the map almost certainly will pass, bringing the lead back to Republicans by 3 seats. After that, Georgia and Louisiana successfully petitioned the Supreme Court to weaken the Voting Rights Act, allowing the states to ignore giving safe districts to minority voters. This means that Louisiana will likely undo its previous map and give a seat to Republicans. Georgia has announced plans too, but as of writing hasn't yet put forth a map, though if the state does redistrict, 2 to 3 more seats could be yielded. However, New York and Colorado have also kept their eyes on the efforts with pledges to intervene eventually, and their combined redistricting could yield up to 8 more Democratic seats. For now, though, Republicans are in the lead, and many states are watching from the sidelines. Hey y'all, thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed this episode, please be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. In the meantime, stay political.